Welcome to Interlagos, Sao Paulo. We hope you're enjoying your Saturday afternoon, and we hope you'll stay with us for today's qualifying for the Brazilian Grand Prix. Well, Red Bull have done well here in the past, but this year they'll definitely have competition for that top spot. No team has it all their own way forever.
Hello everyone, and a very warm welcome to another episode of the F1 2015 Let's Play or Career Mode, however you want to call it, on the channel. We are here in Interlagos, Brazil, already in qualifying. The last minute in qualifying is about to get underway. We're currently in P5, so we really need to improve on that, especially since we are in the championship hunt and Rosberg is currently on pole position. So this lap hoping to improve, and the first sector, well, half a tenth up. It's a start, but already 1.5 tenths down on that Mercedes, which is ever so quick. Of course, the penultimate round, definitely in the championship fight. So the Let's Play or the career mode is coming to an end very, very shortly. For Abu Dhabi, I may want to do something special. Maybe I should do a live stream. If you would like me to live stream the final race, then let me know in the comment section, or if you have any other, suggestions, then leave them below for the final race. 30 seconds to go. I think this is our final run which we are going to get. It probably is. Going up the rich mixture there. Only 200ths of a second down on Rosberg then. Very good second sector. Purple second sector, so that means fastest out of everyone. Then one more second to go though. And here is usually where the Mercedes power kicks in and where they are very quick. I have 6% left though in the tank in terms of fuel. I could do another run, as we said, a 112.162. A tenth away from Rosberg. But are we going to do another lap? I think yes. Yeah, that definitely looks like pushing. So we got another lap, definitely taking that advantage. We still have quite a bit of fuel left in the tank, so let's burn a bit of that up. Of course, not the greatest first sector, and you can see that 200s down indeed. So we need an even better second sector right now, and our previous second sector was already pretty on point. Go to standard mixture here. It helps with traction, I feel, for these slow corners here in the middle part of the track. A little bit untidy on the braking there, could have been better. Up to third gear here. Now you want to completely focus on the exit. That's very important in that corner. Once again, slow the car down to second gear again. A little bit twisty on the braking, but maybe you want to use that a little bit to your advantage as well. Try to get the car to turn in. How's the middle sector? It's even better. 2 tenths up on Rosberg. And another 2 tenths up in the middle sector on our previous best. That is fantastic news, of course. And I think we have a very good shot at getting pole position. We know the Mercedes is stronger probably than us in this final sector. However, can we do it? No, but only by 11 thousandths of a second. Not a lot at all.
Today was Nico Rosberg's day after a frantic final few minutes in qualifying. It was he who came out on top.
Well, it was a fantastic result, but he'll know you don't get any points on a Saturday. And to make this a great weekend for the team, he needs to do the same thing tomorrow.
Welcome to Sao Paulo, which has been host to Formula One races since 1973. Sit back and relax for what's going to be a fantastic Brazilian Grand Prix. Nico Rosberg will want his good fortune to continue on from yesterday's qualifying. He starts the race in P1 and has even said he's expecting to take the checkered flag first. You wouldn't want to bet against him doing just that.
He was driving on another level yesterday, so it wouldn't be a surprise if he just pulls away from the field and is untouchable. But as we know, anything can happen in Formula One, so we'll just have to wait and see.
One team that will be very pleased with how the season has gone so far is Sauber. The Swiss team has performed above all expectations, and they'll be hoping to kick on from this good foundation.
It has really been a great season so far for Sauber, surpassing the expectations of many in the paddock. They've really capitalised on the Ferrari power unit within that car, and have mixed it with some of the bigger teams on the grid.
I feel like I've lost out on pole position all because of the final corner. That corner which is the left-hander going up the hill. I was about half a tenth down on my personal best in the final sector, and that is too much. So we want to make up for that as the race goes underway. Now, penultimate round of the season. Rosberg with a very good launch of the line. Hamilton as well, so immediately being dropped down to third. Excuse me. Then the Ferraris behind us, Raikkonen in front of Vettel. He is in fourth. We stay in third though after the first corner, the Senna S corner. And Hamilton straight away on Rosberg's slipstream, Rosberg still I should say, on Rosberg still and in his slipstream. There's a bit of a look, but decides to think better of it. And we want to try to get that second place back if we can. Definitely not the best launch in the world for us there in second spot. Immediately going to lean mixer over here, trying to save some fuel. I know that this is not really an overtaking zone. You can do it, but it's tricky. So I decided to go to lean, save some fuel in the process. In the meantime, Raikkonen in fourth, and behind that a big gap as Hamilton is a little bit slow off that hairpin, that left-hander. So we make up a little bit of ground. That is good though. It's not like the Mercedes are basically are pulling away. Making a bit of a mistake over there. Immediately you can see Hamilton gaining a couple of tenths on us. And the rear tires are already suffering after lap 1 already. So we're gonna have to look after those rears, that is for sure. Rich mixture down the straight, of course. We definitely have the top speed in this Ferrari powered Sauber. Mercedes not able to really pull away there. We were also in a slipstream, of course. But as I said, there's a really big gap between P4 and P5. Probably Vettel, who is in P5 at least, I would presume so. So there's a rather big gap, of course. Skipping to the end of lap 2, well, opening up lap 3. In fact, finishing the first sector of lap 3. Getting a little bit into the groove here, but also paying attention to those tires and the strategy. Because the strategy here is always important to nail. 36 laps around this track, and the tire wear is pretty, hefty as I make a little bit of a corner extend there. Need to watch that and don't do it too often. I remember in Mexico, of course, we had so many corner extends and cuts that we got, we picked up penalties. We don't want to do it again. Having said that, I think Mexico is a rather harsh track on cuts. It's tricky to stay clean, so to say, whereas it's not really that much of a problem over here, is it? Up again into which mixture then. Raikkonen seems to be dropping off a little bit. We seem to be able to stay in touch with the Mercedes though. DRS will be open here and activated. Climbing towards the back of Hamilton. Can we go for the inside of the center ice corner? Yes, we can. Braking a little bit later than Hamilton. He's still on the outside though. If then have the inside left for the next corner, choose me. But he doesn't really, take advantage of it. Sometimes better to have the outside line for the second corner, because it means you can have a more swinging, flowing line, have a better exit as well, while the guy on the inside is being compromised because he cannot run out the car wide because there is another car over there and he has to leave room. Purple last lap as well, 1:13.1, and back into second spot, so very good for us. Our target is to finish in first. And that was definitely my target as well. I mean, we're in a crucial fight for the championship. Last couple of races were not necessarily great from us. The Mercedes have closed down on us, especially Hamilton. So I think with one more round to go after this one, it is time to turn the momentum into our favor. We have to make sure that we are in a better position for Abu Dhabi. And honestly, regardless of the results over here, unless of course one of the Mercedes is going to drop down a lot, but I don't see it happening, I think the driver who will finish first in Abu Dhabi could as well take the championship, and that is rather exciting, of course. It's going to be interesting, a three-way battle for the championship with one more round to go. But that's all for the future. We are still in Interlagos, where the skies are pretty blue. There's not a single cloud which I can detect, as Hamilton is putting some pressure on us. Seems like ever since we have overtaken Hamilton that Rosberg has been getting away a little bit. And the end of lap 6, yeah, it seems to be stabilizing a little bit, that gap. It seems to be around 8, 9 tenths the whole time. Then we go 7.5 tenths in fact. But Hamilton is closer than us than we are to Rosberg, as we for some reason get a warning there for exceeding track limits. I thought I was within the limits, but whatever. We decide to pit then. The end of lap 6, being the first guy to pit. Maybe thinking as well that a undercut would work, trying to get ahead of Rosberg, and maybe from there onwards control the race. I don't think this is necessarily a bad call. Lap 6 of the race, we've brought these tires up until this point, and we're going for another set of soft tires. Why am I going for another set of soft tires? Well, probably to make that undercut work on Rosberg. If I would be fitting the prime tire there, I would be, have a less chance, or less likely, I would be less likely to jump Rosberg when he is going to pit. Crucial though is for us to come out in clean air, which we don't. That is a bit of a shame, to be honest. Button is behind us, excuse me. Romain Grosjean in front of us. A little bit of a rolling R there. But only lap 7 of the race, still a long way to go, of course. Ooh, outside of Grosjean. Yes. Well, to be fair, not entirely clean, as I went off the track there. Do I give the position back? Probably not. Would have been fair, to be honest, if I would give that position back, but I don't know, maybe I didn't even notice it. Whatever. Up into P12. But still having to overtake some traffic. Because there's some interesting stuff going on for the lead behind our teammate Ericsson here. Lap 7 of the race again. Around the outside here. Yeah, no problems as he also dives into the pit lane. Maldonado up ahead, then he doesn't have DRS. And that is another very straightforward move. 353 kilometers an hour there. And the end of the start-finish straight. And you can see a Mercedes car in the pit lane. That's Rosberg. Rosberg in the pit lane. On the pit exit now. And he is even going to end up behind Maldonado. So that undercut I was talking about has worked, well, flawlessly for us. Maybe I could have even gone to the prime tire and come out ahead of Rosberg. However, Maldonado in between us now. Hamilton yet to pit probably. And what is interesting now is to find out, as I pick up a lot of honesty through that right-hander. What is interesting right now is whether we are able to pull a gap to Rosberg a bit. If we could do that, say a 6-second gap, something like that, 5-6 seconds, that would mean that we have a gap to work with. We can control that gap during this race and try to take home a victory. But of course, Hamilton is still in, Raikkonen is still in there. Raikkonen is in fact very close behind Rosberg because Rosberg is being held up by Maldonado. And you can see now, this is the gap I was talking about. 3 seconds to Maldonado as Perez pulls off to the side there. Probably a DNF for him behind Fiat over here. He has got DRS. We have got it as well though. And the slipstream advantage and rich mixture. And so we go easily on the inside here as Hamilton has also pitted. Now look on the minimap, it's going to be interesting to see where he feeds out. I think it's just in front of Rosberg, is it? Let's have a look on the top left hand side. No, it's Rosberg. So Rosberg is still ahead of Hamilton then. But Maldonado has pitted, so clean air now for Rosberg. And the gap to Rosberg is about 4 seconds, a little bit less than that. Let's see, let's see whether we can control that gap. See whether we can play with it a little bit, if he comes a little bit closer. Try to open it up a little bit, a bit of a yo-yo effect in that sense, while at the same time trying to look after those tires. You can see at the end of lap 12, or as we open up lap, at the end of lap 11, opening up lap 12, excuse me, tires were a little bit yellow there, starting to wear, but it doesn't look like Raikkonen is suffering from anywhere. A beautiful lap from Raikkonen, fastest lap of the race. Well, we did a 1:13.6, he does a 1:13.0, I think it was. Really good job from Raikkonen, who actually jumped Hamilton as well. So Raikkonen is up to P3, Rosberg behind us then, and Rosberg is closing. 3.3 seconds is what the gap is right now. This was a little bit worrying for us, of course. I mean, what is a good thing is that Raikkonen is in there, and if Raikkonen could get second, that would mean that the Mercedes boys would lose out on a couple of points. Not a lot. If Raikkonen finishes second, he gets 15 points, and if Rosberg finishes third, he would get 12. So that is a 3-point deficit. But still, it's something. You never know what's going to happen in Abu Dhabi. As the engineer says, pit this lap for this race. That was pretty much following the strategy that the engineer came up with. So I wouldn't be surprised if I dive into the pit lane, but I don't. I decided to stay out for another lap. Probably felt like I could take these tires for another lap and maybe make it a little bit easier for me towards the end of the race, as we, I think, pulled a little bit of a gap again to Rosberg, so that's good news. But I think that Raikkonen and Rosberg are battling severely. Raikkonen was 0.04 of a second down on Rosberg as they crossed the line, so that is good for us that they are battling. And Raikkonen in fact has overtaken Rosberg, as you can see on the top left of the screen. Gap is now 4.6, so gained a second, or well 8/10, something like that in the first sector alone. But it is all because they were battling. But I don't care, keep on battling, I'll be gaining the time, of course. Bit of a boring race so far, not a lot happening in terms of racing. Skipping to the end of lap 14, or the middle of lap 14, not really the end. And Raikkonen is doing an awesome job. He's creating a gap to the Mercedes boys. Hamilton has jumped Rosberg in the meantime as well, so those guys aren't finished battling yet. But Raikkonen is absolutely on fire. He is really doing an awesome job. I think he's closing the gap to us as well. You can see lots of oversteer here through this middle sector. Have to keep it on track, of course, but we're pushing here because I know that I would be pitting as I make a mistake there as well. This is gonna cost dearly. What would have been better there if I just kept it clean, kept it cool, kept a stable, consistent line. But I thought I'm going to pit this lap anyway. Not gonna need these tires. Why not just push like hell? But I think it was a little bit of the wrong choice because I made some mistakes because of it. Back into the pit lane though. Again, being the first one in the pit out of the top 4. Let's see to which compound we are going to switch again. The soft tire. So we did, what is it? 8 laps I think on that set of tires. Let's say we can do another 8 laps. Would be lap 23. Yeah, if we go in on lap 23 again, can we do 13 laps on the prime tire? Well, maybe it's going to be a little bit close. But yeah, I don't know. We'll see. We'll see how it develops actually. Maybe I have to look after the tires a little bit this stint. And see if we can take it to lap 25 or something like that. That would make the prime tire or the prime stint at the end a bit easier. Skipping to the middle part of lap 16 behind the Ricciardo, who is on more tires. I think you can definitely see it over there. Yeah, the poor exit, and we swing it around the outside there. You could hear the throttle being activated there, like vroom, 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 vroom. And that's my impression of a V6 engine. I think it's pretty, yeah, pretty accurate. However, coming to the point around the outside there, you want to squeeze the car on the inside as much as you can without obviously making contact as Williams spews off into the pit lane. That is Felipe Nasr. He comes in from 4th place and a lot more cars in the pit lane as well. We jump back up into 2nd place with Rosberg being the only one yet to pit. Or Hamilton rather, excuse me. The timing had to be updated there. Ricciardo behind us, I think yet to pit. Maybe running a different strategy as well. Could be the case. End of lap 17, opening up lap 18. Hamilton decides to come in as well, meaning we retake first spot. That was tough to pronounce, excuse me. And halfway through the race, only halfway through the race, I should say. But yeah, I think with that undercut we have performed again. It has opened up the gap. It was 4.6 before the pit stops, or about 3.6, and it's now 7.4. And Raikkonen in the meantime has, well, I think it's the loser. He's the loser after that pit stop phase, because he has dropped down to P4 most likely after he was in solid and steady P2. But we are looking good. But it's not over yet, of course. We still need to nail the strategy a bit, which is tricky. You know, how am I going to finish this race? Do I do 13 laps on the prime tire or not? What am I going to do? We'll have a look soon. 13.1, relatively consistent times there, which is good. And lap 22, 14 more to go. But about to approach another pit box or pit stop phase, pit window, as the engineer says there, box this lap. 5.7 the gap to Hamilton. He has been closing up on us over the course of the last couple of laps, and we decided to go into the pit lane. That's surely for another set of options then, isn't it? Lap 22, 14 laps on the prime. I mean, I did, what is it? How many laps did I do on the prime there? I think we pitted in lap 14. Yeah, that is 9 laps on the prime, on the sorry the option, and it is another set of options.
We have 2 stops left in this strategy. We have 2 stops planned.
Yeah, that is indeed right. 2 more stops then, 1 more for the prime tire. I don't know if it's the right strategy, to be honest. It doesn't matter now. We're just gonna have to push. Also coming up behind Massa, not ideal, of course. But what I noticed in the pit lane when I was opening up that window on the right hand side, the car status so to say, I thought my tires were already a bit worn. But I'm not sure, maybe we'll confirm that soon. would be a disaster for us though, if it is the case. It's coming to the end of lap 24, we have overtaken Massa easily. And we are waiting for the AI to pit. But it's a bit... See, there we go. Damage on the right hand side of the screen. These are the tires I think we have qualified with or something like that. They are already worn. That is really bad news, because firstly we won't have ultimate pace. We won't have optimal pace. And we're gonna have to come in earlier. And whoa, that is lap 25. We have made a mistake for sure. And look at that, the Mercedes cars are in the pit as well. They are in front of us. We have made a severe mistake here. I think we have messed this up. Well, completely. There goes the prime tire. What should have gone on before maybe. I look at the race director here. And I wanted to see whether the AI was on the prime tire. And yes, they are. Hamilton is still out. But the AI is also on the prime now. And at this stage I just knew that the AI would also finish on these tires. And you know, I was like, shit. I messed this up completely. I completely trusted on the engineer, I think, without thinking about the strategy myself. And that was a mistake by me. That was a very big mistake. Also, you know, the fact that I got worn tires wasn't great. The pace on those worn tires wasn't great either, of course, because they were already used in quali most likely, as I never practiced before these races. As we have a corner cut there, yep, that is indeed a corner cut. And what are you going to do now, you know? I mean, 11 laps on this final prime stint. You know that you have messed it up. You know that, yeah, you know that you're going to have a bad day in the championship as well. And you are going to make it more, yeah, tense than it should be for the final round in Abu Dhabi. Ooh. Careful not running into the back of Kvyat there. Ooh, bit of a lock up on the inside though. Kvyat really doing well there. He noticed that I locked up, left some space over there, didn't turn in on me of course, as I was there. And on the minimap you can see that the car out of Bottas is most likely a Mercedes, and that is the gap we are having currently. Or if it's, maybe it's Raikkonen, I don't even know. Raikkonen could do a huge favor here though for us to finish ahead of the Mercedes guys, but yeah, easier said than done, I'm sure. There goes Bottas into the pit lane, and there goes Vettel as well, meaning we come back into P4. Rosberg in P3. That actually means that Raikkonen is ahead of at least one Mercedes. I don't know if he's ahead of Hamilton as well. That is good news. But bad news is that we completely messed up the strategy, and we may as well have thrown away a win here. 7 seconds to Rosberg, 8 more laps to go. I was like, you know, I'm just gonna give it my all here. I mean, it's tough. I know it will be tough, but I can at least try to see if it works. I mean, on the minimap you can see some back markers as well. You don't know what's going to happen. Maybe we can have a little bit of a miracle here and catch up, but yeah, I highly doubt it. You can also see they're exceeding track limits. Have to be careful with that. I don't want a penalty now. But yeah, let's be honest, we threw away this victory, we threw away this race. At least a shot at the podium spot. Raikkonen now back into third. Ooh, it's Rosberg now in third, Raikkonen back in third. Those two are having a battle. 7.5 to Rosberg. I think I lost 5 tenths in the final sector alone. That's a lot. As Raikkonen has been bogged down to P3, that's not really what we wanted to see. And so the Mercedes are going to score optimal points as I exceed the track limits once again there. And yeah, there's not a lot I can do about it. Of course, looking back at it, I should have decided that I should have gone for the prime tire. Maybe go a little bit longer than the others, but at least, you know, have a chance at the podium spot or defending my first place. It's always better than what we have right now. I mean, we did, what was it? 1 or 2 laps on the option tire in the previous stint. I mean, come on, you know that you have messed up when you do that. 5.4 to Raikkonen. We're gaining slightly, but it won't be enough, will it? it certainly won't. Back marker though in front of Raikkonen, I think you can see it going up the hill there. That will cost him a bit, but yeah, I don't think it will be enough to gain that spot. Having said that, look at that. He's now visually a lot closer. But nah, that back marker will get out of the way very soon. I think he has already done it, to be honest. Has he? Not sure. A lot of cars here. Ooh, if Raikkonen is in there, we may have a chance. Is he in there though, in that group up ahead? No, he's not. But the gap is now 3.1 seconds. So that has been brought down massively. But we are also yet to lap these back markers in front, of course, and they are in a severe battle. One guy pitting there with 4 laps to go. He also probably, you know, made a mess of the strategy. Maldonado in there as well. We're gonna have to be careful. That's for sure. Lapping these guys, no issues. Well, they are battling a little bit. Okay, that's one way to lap traffic. Okay. Well, picked up the DRS as well. I won't complain. 3.5 to Raikkonen. Yeah, we are pretty much settled for this position, I would say. But boy, is it a shame that we finished here, because we could have also finished on the top step of the podium, I am sure. And that means that we are going to make Abu Dhabi exciting. I think though we won't go to Abu Dhabi as a leader of the championship because of this race. And I really thought that we could set a good result here. I guess 4th isn't too bad, but yeah, it should have been 1st, of course. But yeah, that's not to be, or that is not true. Simply by a strategic mistake from me. Hamilton is leading. Raikkonen gaining a little bit again on us. It means that we are pretty much done.
Just 10% of fuel left now. 10%.
A bit of oversteer there. Still trying to push maybe. But as a driver, you know it right now as well. You know that you know it's not gonna happen.
Raikkonen's next.
Hey, Raikkonen in the pit. That is a really big surprise. I saw someone on the minimap. What the hell? Raikkonen in the pit lane then. And that is incredibly lucky. That is super lucky. Would a Mercedes also pit in the penultimate lap? Well, if you pit 2 laps before the end of the race, then what's the point of that? I don't think the Mercedes guys have come in. No, they haven't. Right. Well, that gives us P3. Easy. And that is going to be, yeah, crucial maybe as well. We'll have a look at the championship standings, of course, after the race. But why would Raikkonen come in? It's really weird. I'm not going to complain though, of course. I mean, we pick up a final podium spot, but honestly, we shouldn't have been here at all. But of course, I'll take it. I'm not going to slow down now. Raikkonen has even jumped behind Vettel. Ooh, oversteer there. Jesus. That was a lot of oversteer. Luckily we kept it outside of the barriers. If you follow this career mode, then you will know that I usually have a little bit of fun in the last lap or so. Trying to slide around a little bit. Sometimes it ends in tears as well. I think I remember Bahrain where I spun on the exit of the final corner in the final lap because I thought, let's do some drifting or oversteering or power sliding or whatever you want to call it. Hamilton picks up a window, I guess well deserved. He was there to capitalize on our mistake, our strategic mistake, and it is going to cost us dearly. And we are gonna have to strike back in Abu Dhabi, that's for sure. We come home to take home P3, maybe what should have been P4 as well, maybe what should have been a win too. But yeah, it wasn't the case. Hamilton P1, Rosberg P2, and ourselves in P3. And I think we have a thriller coming up in Abu Dhabi, because Abu Dhabi is going to decide, of course, who will be the champion. But look in a second how close it will be in the championship. I reckon the guy who is going to finish first in Abu Dhabi, regardless from where anyone else finishes, he will be the champion. But Let's wait first, see
No
what the
doubt
standings
another
are
driver
like.
of the day today. It's Lewis Hamilton, whose Mercedes was just too strong for the opposition. It's another win for the British driver.
It really was a wonderful performance, and one that the team will be celebrating for some time to come.
There'll be plenty more twists and turns to come this season. I hope you can join us at the next race to see just who will come out on top.
Yeah, and it was just a standard pit stop for Raikkonen, as he did finish the race in P5. So, well, there we go. Having a look though at the championship standings, I think that would be nice. Hamilton in the end, of course, finishing ahead of everyone else. Our teammate was down in P17, even behind the McLaren Hondas. Alonso P11, not bad. And here we are, 5 points behind the Hamilton. So if you finish first, you pick up 25 points. Second, 18. That is a 7-point deficit. And look who is in third, 7 points behind the leader, Rosberg. Hamilton will be going into Abu Dhabi with a lead, but we won't give up. Whoever wins there, I'm gonna say it one more time, wins the championship as well. And I think we are gonna have to set our target, our goal to win, because we are racing against Mercedes in 2015 Formula 1, and in order to beat them, I think you have to win. So that is definitely going to be our target, and well, would it be nice to win it. That's it for me though for now. If you have enjoyed the video, I would appreciate a like. Thanks very much for watching, and see you next time. Goodbye.